Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I came across something that kind of shocked me this morning. Apparently, a lot of people are making a big deal online, and I've actually went and saw examples of it, of people who are saying Lady Gaga was fat and had a big gut at the Super Bowl as a form of fat shaming. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, do a little bit of crafting, and let's talk about this. All right, here's the problem with this. Major problem with this. All right, guys, I understand that we need to be rejecting and shooting down the fat acceptance movement. The fat acceptance movement is horrifically bad. It is going to kill people. It's going to cause disease. It is one of the worst things we've ever seen for fitness in a long time. The health at every size, we know that's complete bullshit. But what you don't do is go taking the opposite approach. There's this whole pro-anorexia crowd, and it also includes much of the fitness world online because they have moronic standards of what's healthy versus what isn't. They actually promote unhealthy levels of body fat for most people. Most people can't sustain the sort of body fat that's considered to be not fat in the online fitness world. But when you jackasses go over there and do this, and I don't mean all of you listening, I mean the jackasses who do this, and they take a woman who, for 30 years old, she looks to be in pretty good shape. Seriously, how many 30-year-olds look like she did on that stage? 1%? Maybe 1%, 2%, 3% at the most obtain that level of fitness where she's at right now. Now, if we're going to call that fat, and we're going to call that a gut when she's actually at a very, very healthy body fat percentage, well within the healthy range. She clearly has more muscle than the average woman. She clearly works out. I think most people can agree to that. She clearly works out. She's clearly in pretty decent shape. But to stand there and then we're going to call that fat, and no one cares about what the fitness world wants, by the way. I don't mean the fashion world. Like, we can just disregard this whole runway model bullshit because, honestly, the runway model thing, I've been to many of them. My girlfriend Brittany works in fashion. I have been to a decent number of fashion shows. We're not going to get into what goes on there and their standards and what that's all about, but that's absurd. That shouldn't be our standard either. Our standard should be fitness. It should be health. And if we're going to fat shame someone who is very clearly in better shape, far better shape than the average person, we really should be looking at that, setting that as a benchmark. And here's why. When we take people and we start fat shaming people who are clearly in the healthy body fat range, clearly work out, clearly are in dramatically better shape than most people out there in the US and in Europe and everything else in the Western world. When we start fat shaming those people, all we do is give ammunition to the real fatties, because then they get to rightfully scream, "Well, see, people have an unrealistic standard that no one can obtain." Because for most of these fatties who are in the whole body acceptance movement, all these fatties, most of them would actually kill to look like Lady Gaga looks right there. They just don't know how to do it. And honestly, they deep down hate themselves. They loathe themselves. That's why they have to be so outward with this message. That's why they have to promote it so much and so hard, because they know that they hate themselves. They know that they're unhealthy and fat and disgusting. They know that. That's why they're so vocal about it. But when you give them a standard that like they would love to obtain, I can tell you right now, most of them would really actually secretly love to be where she is. So when you call that fat still, that honestly gives them legitimate ammo to use. All right, that actually gives them a legitimate reason to say, see, look, there's no point even trying to reach anyone else's standards. There's no point in trying to reach anyone else's standards because, look, that person looks better than most of us are ever going to look who are in this whole fat camp, this whole pro-fat movement. Body acceptance movement, and they're still calling her fat, so why should we even bother? We'll never reach their standards, so we should just ignore everyone's standards. That's the line they're going to use. We should just ignore everyone's unrealistic standards because it's unobtainable anyways, and we should just love ourselves and continue to be fat and die young. And that's the point, guys. When people are doing this and they're taking someone who's not in the fitness competitive physique world and they're going to insult someone like that and call them fat when they're clearly not, anyone see the problem there? Because honestly, the online fitness world does have unrealistic standards. Most of the people in it have body image disorders. Most of them have even male versions of anorexia. Let's be honest. Anyone who thinks that being under 10% body fat for prolonged periods of time is acceptable really shouldn't be giving other people standards for health and fitness, and that's just reality, because they themselves are deluded in terms of what's actually healthy for prolonged periods of time, what's a healthy long-term sustainable body fat. And so again, they're going to see this whole online movement with unrealistic standards, and they're going to be right. They're going to say everyone's standards for what's acceptable is unobtainable, and therefore we shouldn't even bother. What you're doing when you do that is you're going to encourage laziness. You're going to encourage people to not even bother to try, because all these fat people feel like if they do reach a healthy body fat, which they need to be doing, we need to be continuing to harass anyone who's promoting obesity. All right, we need to be harassing people who are promoting obesity. They are the enemy of health. They are the enemy of fitness. But being pro-anorexia, which is what many physique competitors are, for example, they are pro-anorexia. But being that way is not how we do that. We need to be telling these people, no, they need to be healthy. They need to lose weight. And if they don't, and they're promoting the opposite, that they are promoting heart attacks, they're promoting strokes, they're promoting diabetes, they're promoting cancer, all of these things that we know go hand in hand with obesity, and particularly morbid obesity, that's what they're promoting. And that is what they're encouraging other people to achieve, is these horrible, life-destroying, and oftentimes deadly diseases. That's what they're promoting, because there is no health at every size. Every medical doctor will tell you that. Every registered dietitian will tell you that. Being obese is itself considered to be basically a disease. It is a disease at this point. It's a self-inflicted disease, because a lot of people will be like, how's that a disease? It's self-inflicted. Tons of diseases are self-inflicted. Lung cancer from smoking cigarettes is self-inflicted. Doesn't make it any less of a disease. Obesity is actually a disease. It causes poor health by itself. Even if you're doing everything else right, if you have way too much body fat, you are going to be unhealthy eventually, no matter what you do. Like, you can't out-exercise and just eat good foods and, carry 50 pounds of extra body fat beyond the acceptable level and still be healthy in the long term. You can't do it. It will catch up with you. And all the top experts know that. You're going to get cancer at double the rates of normal people. You're going to have heart attacks and strokes at 10 times the rate of normal people. You're going to get diabetes at 4 or 5 times the rate of normal people. You're going to get some health problem as a result of it. And the fact of even having all that extra fat automatically makes most of your blood work look worse. All right, people can tell when you're morbidly obese. A doctor can pull your blood work and tell that you're morbidly obese, even if you exercise, even if you eat vegetables. So we all know this health at every size is complete nonsense and it's destructive. But when we set unrealistic standards and we start telling people, oh, Lady Gaga is fat there, when she's clearly at a healthy body fat and clearly works out, clearly in better shape than the majority of people. And again, at 30 years old, come on. She's doing damn good for 30. But when we promote unrealistic standards online and we start fat shaming people who aren't actually obese, people who actually clearly work out and are not at an obese body fat percentage, all we are doing is discouraging people from even trying. We're reinforcing people's laziness. If that's done, we are reinforcing people's laziness and justifying their laziness in their own minds. Now, we can say all we want. Well, see, they're just lazy and it's not our fault, it's rejustified. Yeah, it kind of is. Because if we want to improve health, we want to improve fitness, hell, you want to lower your own insurance premiums because insurance is so expensive because so many people are out of shape and going to die and have health problems due to that. It's actually going to cost you money. It costs the taxpayers money for so many people to be obese. All right, you need to be concerned with that. Even if you don't care about their lives, care about the financial cost of it, care about the money you're going to have to pay in taxes as a result of it. You should care about that. You should care about that. Because it is going to hurt you in the long term. It's going to hurt you personally in your pocketbook. So, yeah, we need to be encouraging them, and that's not encouraging them. You know what we should say? Hey, all you fat people out there, all you fat chicks who are all going to die young, you should try to look like her. Because for most of them, that would be years of work for them to get to where she's at. Most of these people you see online promoting fat acceptance and promoting health at every size would probably need 2, 3, 4 years to even get where Lady Gaga is there. We should be pushing them in that direction. we shouldn't be calling that fat still, because that is anything but fat. It's just not physique competitor lean, which, you know, no sane person really seeks to obtain. All right, you're already mentally unhealthy. You really want to obtain that for any reason. And I'm not saying people don't have a right to do what they want. It's your body, it's your life, but that is unhealthy also. And anyone who wants to argue that being shredded is healthier than Lady Gaga looks, there again, doesn't actually know that much about fitness and health. So yeah, we need to be encouraging all these fat people to get to where she's at, not be discouraging them from doing it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.